The Patriotic Alliance has officially lodged a complaint against an SABC employee to the South African Human Rights Commission for alleged racist remarks. In a viral video, the public broadcaster employee is seen involved in an altercation with flight attendants where she made the alleged racist remarks about the coloured community. The party says the remarks are an insult to the spirit of unity in the country. For more on this, I'm now joined by the PA's Deputy President, Kenny Kunene. Kenny, thanks for your time and compliments of the season. Can you walk us through what particularly caught the Patriotic Alliance's imagination, if you will, or your attention regarding this particular issue and the subsequent decision to lodge a formal complaint with the Human Rights Commission?
Thank you very much, Igro, for having us. Look, the video was very disturbing in the first place because you can see this passenger trying to assault the flight attendants. But what really caught us was those first acts of violence. But the second part was when a beautiful colored lady stepped in to also try and calm her down, the same way others were trying to. Then she made these racist remarks. As a party, we do not want to see racism anywhere. In fact, we hate racism. The father of this lady, Nobuntu Mkhize, fought against racism. He fought against violence on another individual. And it was obviously a very sensitive matter. It is clear that the lady has got a view on colored people, that they are uneducated, that all that they know is gold rings, that they don't have licenses or cars. And for us as a party, it came across as insulting, as being insensitive, as being racist. But she also goes further to even ask if flight attendants know who her father is. She has absolutely no right to even mention the name of her father in that particular instance, because she stood for everything that the father was against. She is a disgrace to the legacy of her father. And what also is really bothering me is that the SABC has not even suspended her, despite the fact that she put a name next to the organization that she claims to be part of. That organization distanced itself from her and her remarks. Number one. Number two.
Okay, please.
Number two. Yes, number two, you could see other passengers coming to the rescue of flight attendants to a point where police are being called to come and take care of the flight. Yet SABC management has not even suspended her. Instead, they make a statement that they note the video that is making the rounds. So that is really bothering us. And that is why we decided that we must write to the Human Rights Commission to raise this matter so that an investigation can be made. You cannot be a brand manager of an institution that is owned by the people of South Africa. SABC is a national asset. The colored community also own SABC. They pay their TV licenses.
Fair enough, Kenny. But do you not suspect that there is a process of due diligence that needs to be carried out by her employer before she's immediately suspended? Is there no room for due process to take place?
But what due process when a lady has behaved like a rascal? When a lady is attacking beautiful ladies who are at work for a drink, for that matter, for a drink. And she is attacking me. In the video, you can see where she's trying to grab a very expensive, beautiful weave of a lady, beautiful lady. 3 ladies that you see, that these ladies, they jumped in the bath. They cleaned themselves. They made themselves beautiful to go to work. And this lady who You can see she just took a Vaslab that morning and just cleared her eyes. And she even has the audacity to take off her weave. And once she takes off that cheap weave, I just saw a ho there.
Okay,
I just saw a ho when she took off that weave.
You're clearly upset about this, Kenny. But let's talk about the letter that you've written to the South African Human Rights Commission. What is your expectation? How would you like them to action this incident?
Obviously, we would like them to hold the lady accountable and obviously exact maximum penalty, maximum punishment that is always given to racists. That is why we have written to the Human Rights Commission. And this is not the only incident. We have also took out a statement. The team is busy writing to the Human Rights Commission, also to highlight the racist incident that happened at Four Ways Mall, where a couple of white racists called black ladies baboons. And you can see in the video the ladies chasing them and asking them, who are you calling a baboon? Why do you call me a baboon? So wherever racism shows its head, as the Patriotic Alliance, we will make sure that such people are held accountable by the Human Rights Commission. But this particular one that we are talking about, it's even more serious because the video has got the lady saying these words. So I don't understand due process when you have got video evidence that's where the person is making remarks, damaging the brand of SABC. SABC today is in the news for the wrong reasons. So we want her to be expelled from SABC. She must be dismissed. She must be fired as a matter of urgency.
Kenny, there seems to be issues around racism that are festering in the country. How do you envision we tackle this? We've obviously seen many or several incidents in the last few months where there is white on black racism or black on white racism. But in this instance where you have black on black racism, so to speak, what do you think is festering and how do you intend to deal with it? What can be done to manage it?
You see, our laws in the country are massaging racists. Racism needs to be criminalized. There needs to be a sentence. A person must go to a criminal court for being racist. And a sentence must be imposed. That person must be a criminal and be treated like one. For as long as we are treating racism as a human rights violation, we will always have these incidences. We need to change the law. We need to criminalize racism. And there needs to be a hefty sentence for anyone who utters racist remarks, for anyone who kills because of racism, for anyone who attacks because of racism. That's how serious we need to tackle racism for us to show that we are serious about racism. At this point in time, it is being massaged. You write to the Human Rights Commission, they give a fine, friends put money together, the racist is out there doing the same thing that they do best. So we need to criminalize racism. And I think if it were criminalized, this woman that has given a bad name to Abu Kabazela would have been arrested and been in prison as we speak.
Kenny, can we expect the Patriotic Alliance to move this motion in Parliament?
It's something that we have not discussed as a party, but I think this is an awakening. As you have mentioned, that these incidences are coming every now and then. I think this is an awakening. It is my personal view of what needs to happen. However, I'm going to put it to my NEC so that we then need to see how do we move forward. But I feel strongly that racism needs to be criminalized. Okay,
now, there's obviously a very, very strong message that has gone out to this particular individual who's accused of racism. But what is the message that you would like to send to the young woman who was affected, who was racially abused on this flight?
I want to say that you are a South African, you are a patriot, and you are beautiful. You don't need Uber to justify your stance in community or in society. You don't need a driver's license to justify your stance in a community or in society. You are a beautiful woman. You are working. You are a South African. Being colored is not a crime. Colored people are also human beings. Colored people have the blood of different races in them. So they are even better positioned to understand how things must happen. So I want to say to her, we are with you. We feel your pain, but we are going to take your fight. Focus on your work. We as the Patriotic Alliance will fight this fight for you until this racist has been taken to account and this racist has met the full might of the law. You know, Hugo, what even bothers me is that these women were so patient. Remember, it's a criminal offense to fight, to argue, to disturb flight attendants in a flight. It's a criminal offense. So, but these ladies were so patient. This colored lady was so patient. So this woman, Nobuntu Mkhize, as a brand manager of SABC, she's basically saying colored people are not worthy of being part of the SABC brand because she sees them as people with no degrees. She sees them as uneducated people, which means, in as far as she's concerned, colored people should not be employed at SABC. Colored people are useless people in society. And I wish you could have looked at the face of the colored lady and looked at her face, and she would have felt ashamed because these three women in that particular flight are beautiful women looking after themselves. And Nobuntu Mkhize looked like a hobo in that plane.
Kenny, I think that's where we're going to leave the conversation, but appreciate your time. Kenny Kunene, Patriotic Alliance Deputy President, speaking to us on that issue as the Patriotic Alliance has lodged a formal complaint against the SABC employee to the South African Human Rights Council, and we will invite the individual in question to respond to those issues and obviously walk us through what transpired.